Meng Wanzhou and hostage diplomacy. Now, it's been very obvious that from the very beginning that something like this was gonna happen. You see, the Chinese government has this history of just taking people hostage with the intention of being able to bargain down the road. Of course, what does the Chinese government want to do with Meng Wanzhou, a CFO of a private company? I don't know, right? Why would the Chinese government want to get involved with a private company? It's almost like they're not private. It's almost like the CCP has control over these private companies. It's almost like they're a communist government. Weird, isn't it? It's almost like when a company is so big in China, they have CCP officials put into the company. Oh, wait, they do. Strange how that works, right? It's almost like the CEO of Huawei has past ties to the government or something. I mean, why else would the government care? Oh, wait, that's right. He does. Surprise again, right? Just so random. Isn't it strange how these random things just happen to fall into place like that? Meng Wanzhou, a CFO, of course, commits fraud. This is China. Let's be honest. Any of you that have lived in China knows that conducting business in China, you got to have that guanxi. And for you that don't know about that guanxi, that means you got to pay the man. You got to pay the man to keep the man off your back. And that's whether you're a big company or a small company or medium-sized company. Doesn't matter. You got to pay to keep the man off of your back. And in this case, the man, of course, is the CCP. And so, what's happening here, quite obviously, again, she was committing fraud using her company and other shell companies around the world to get around trade, and she did commit a crime, of course. She was caught. And part of her going free, and this is something that the shills, the losers, bear it. I assure you, the rest of the shills will just accidentally ignore. Slipped my mind. Is the simple fact that part of her not being extradited to America is the fact that she must admit that she committed a crime. And she did. She admitted that she withheld information from HSBC Bank, that she defrauded a bank. She committed bank fraud, international wire fraud. Okay, so she committed this fraud. In return, of course, the Department of Justice agreed to not send her to court until 2022, of which they've already said the case will be dismissed. So, of course, this allows the Canadian government to say, well, there's no reason for us to hold her. She goes back to China. the Middle Kingdom. And, of course, now 2 hostages, randomly again, by the way, just hours later, 2 hostages, Canadian hostages, that were in China, again, are freed. Strange, right? Chinese person commits fraud, gets held, Chinese government steps in, woman goes free, 2 hostages go free. That, my friends, is hostage diplomacy. This is how the Chinese government works, right? The Chinese government, they lie, they cheat, they steal, they are the enemy of the world, and people need to see it for what it is, the truth. And again, it's hostage diplomacy. There's just no way around it. It's too obvious at this point. It's too obvious that the communist government has, of course, helped her reach a plea deal. You know, again, why the Chinese government would be involved diplomatically relating to a private company is beyond me, because of course it's not a private company. But that's the way that it is. I hope everyone sees it for the way that it is. Hostage diplomacy. It's nothing more, nothing less. The shills need to quit trying to make it sound like she won her case. She didn't win anything. She admitted to being a fraud. Not that, you know, you loser shills care, or not that the Wu Mao care. It's essentially the same thing as me. They want to, like, call me a criminal, but then, like, ignore the fact that, like, Nathan Rich sold meth. You know, like, it's the same thing, basically. They'll call everyone else in the world bad, but ignore the fact that Meng Wanzhou is a criminal, that she commits fraud all the time. So that's all I wanted to say in today's video. More hostage diplomacy from China. Never would have seen that coming, huh? Like, comment, subscribe, and have a good day.